30 seconds, you ready?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Afternoon Market Update. My name is Glenn, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. Ryan is on vacation this week on Western Wednesday, so I will be your host for the session. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. This broadcast is being sponsored by Crispy Bacon and Cafe Bustelo. Make sure you support Crispy Bacon and Cafe Bustelo. Thank you for that, John. I appreciate that. Looks like Jay is here. Richard is here. Looks like the alert hasn't totally hit everyone yet, so I'm going to wait for a moment before we start diving in to what's going on in the market. So I heard the alert just hit on my mobile device, so I think I don't know if that was the alert or not. Joey, I need the mouse, I think. There we go. Let me close that. So it looks like Fireblazer says Cowboy Glenn. I didn't come fully prepared for Western Wednesday today. Just got the hat. And I got a different hat than what I normally wear. Good afternoon, Jake. Glad that you're here. So looks like we got 107 people here. Looks like for the most part the alert hit. So I'm going to start off. I caught a little flack on social media about forgetting what the currency was in European theater. So I want to own that, and I'll be the first to say that I made a mistake, but VV Nation helped me out in regards to getting the right currency, that being the euro, to let me know what was going on. But, you know, as I am on YouTube, those are things that I should not forget. But I apologize for it, and it seems like there was somebody over in the UK that got really, really riled up about it and said, I'm not going to even watch your Monday sessions anymore. And I'm like, all right, then that's up to you. That's fine.
All I can do is teach you, Glenn. All I can do is
I know
take you through the
Joey
water.
is letting me know that all he can do is teach me. So listen, I own it, and I'm going to be the first one to step up to the plate when I made a mistake. By no means am I perfect, and I hate that someone would actually take it to the extreme of saying, well, I'm no longer going to watch you because I made a mistake. It's fine. It's your loss. I'm going to say it that way. I'm going to turn that around just a little bit. But I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and I wanted to publicly own it on this platform. All right? So that's that. We can get past that. All right, with that, the economy is cooling. We saw the GDP numbers come out today. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the market. Another green light in the color guard pricing column. A lot of yellow. Is it the right time to buy stocks right now? Well, I'm going to say that I still think that overall we have some downside in the market. Debbie says, I like your tan. Did you go to the beach? No, Joey did it. You see that, Joey? Somebody said they like my tan. That's because Joey's working on the color in the background. At least he's keeping me from being orange, and I'm a little darker. That's all right. So no, I didn't go to the beach. That's just the color in the background, and it's all right as long as you know that it's me. You know it's me. Glenn, timely. Are we looking good now in Akshaya? I'm going to be the first one to say that I've got confirmation to say that it's okay to buy stocks in the market. But I'm still going to hold on to the negative news that's in the market. Still overall, inflation and interest rates and China and oil. Oil is an indicator of inflation at some point in time. So with all of that being said, I'm going to let you know to take advantage of what the market's giving you. And with that, let's go right into the software. There it is. Akshaya is asking me, is it a good time now? So I'm going to tell you, yeah. Here's the primary wave, which is the fastest indicator we have, which kicked off on the 25th. After that, I said I needed more confirmation. Look at that. The next day, the 388 crossed. I needed more confirmation. Beautiful level of resistance sitting at 58.83. We broke through it yesterday. We've got continuation today. So I'm coming off of the primary wave down. We're 1, 2, 3 days off of that potential bottom looking at the wick. I think this is more so the bottom that happened on 8/18, but we tested it. Look at the wick a few days ago. We tested that level of support of 57.41, and we're only moving up right now. The MACD, Akshaya says the MACD is moving up. Let me go add a parameter. Let's go add the MACD. MACD, bada boom, bada bing. And there you go. Akshaya is absolutely right. With today's activity, with the follow through of the breakthrough of this level of resistance, the MACD went positive. Joey, you make Glenn look good. Video is crystal clear. It is crystal clear, but I'm looking pretty dark. I'm looking pretty dark. How do you feel about NEO coming out with their own phone? Oscar, in my opinion, I think that that's just nothing but an antic. That's my opinion on it. I think if something, because they're not doing well as far as the stock is concerned, I think it's just some way of trying to gain some notoriety to be relevant. That's my opinion, Oscar. All right, that's just my opinion. Is anyone having issues with their internet? Verizon is spotty on their service up here in Boston. The problem is you're in Boston. That's what it comes down to. The problem comes down to you're in Boston. If you were in New York, you wouldn't have this. Have you trimmed any of your contras? Fitz, I'm actually holding one contra. Right now, I'm still holding the SQQQ. I'm down a little bit. I had made a little bit of money on it. Even on the pullback, I'm still down just a tad bit. Why do I see the alert for a changing color guard only after 6 p.m. when people saw the primary wave change throughout the day? So Florida Dream, great question. If you have real-time data, we will flash the calls as they happen throughout the day. But they're not confirmed until the closing bell. That's why. They're not confirmed until the closing bell. That's why you didn't see it. All right, so I'm just letting you know that. It's definitely an attention getter as far as NEO and the phone. Absolutely. Is the VectorVest system a bit too cautious at times? Should be buying when there is blood in the streets on Friday the 21st August. So on Friday the 25th, there we go. Does that let me know that I'm really getting confirmation in the market at that time, Tabula? So what am I looking for? I'm looking for confirmation. So to say that we're a little bit cautious, I'm not going to call it that way. We got the call. For those people who are a little bit more aggressive in the market, you could have jumped on that call if you had confirmation the next day, which you did. But notice, for me, just to be on, I'd rather have you err on the side of caution. How about then the 3 and 8 cross, follow through, breaking through resistance, and then another follow through day. So Tabula, does that make sense? Tabula, does that make sense? The more aggressive you are, and notice the last time the primary wave went up, the aggressive folks coming off of the bottom said, let's go, let's go, let's go. Boom, big down day, and it reversed. That's the reason why I say be cautious, to err on the side of cautious. Are you still liking UVXY? No, not right now. I need the market. Usually the VIX rises when the market is falling. Right now, I'm not playing the VIX trade just quite yet. Not right now. I did play it. I made some money on it, but I'm not playing it right now. All right. So you know me. I love to answer as many of your questions as I possibly can. Brian says NEO has set its sights on becoming a top 5 automaker by 2030 and also a major lifestyle brand in China. The biggest thing for NEO overcoming the EV space in China is Boyd. Boyd has the space on lockdown in China. All right, they're putting out inexpensive cars in China, and they are the big boys in China, just like Tesla is the big boy in the United States. And I still think that Tesla is the big boy globally. All right, big boy globally. Ken, I wrote that down. We'll take a look at that stock for you. All right, so that's what's going on in the market. Let's go see what news is moving the market. Let's get into my stories. And we're going to start off with the economic calendar. Economic calendar showed that GDP came in today, forecasted at 2.4. It came in at 2.1. So it shows that the economy is cooling. The economy is cooling. The forecasted quarter two GDP price index fell from forecasted as well. And the goods trade balance fell as well, went more negative. So all of these things are showing that the economy, we're not making as much goods. The economy is cooling, but is it cooling enough? Is it cooling enough for the Fed to turn around and not raise rates on the market? Jim, I am doing well today. Thank you for asking. Let's talk about what else is going on. US stocks steady. Dollar softens as weak data supports a Fed pause. All right, so now let's go find out. ELF is a great stock, Jay Kirby. I'm all on board with that. And I would also look at Ulta Beauty, both of them in the same spot. I would look at it. I'm going to ask a question. How many of you think that the Fed... Huh?
The whole thing's hanging off.
Oh, hold on. Let me go see if I can fix that. Is that better? That's better.
Yeah.
All right. How many of you think that the Fed pauses on the next decision? Type of 1. How many of you think that the Fed continues to raise? Type of 2. Remember, the Fed is trying to get to its level of 2% of inflation. 2% inflation. They're not quite there yet. How many of you think that he raises? 1. How many of you pauses? 1. How many of you think he raises? 2? A lot of 2s coming up and a lot of 1s. Joey, put a poll up. That way I can get a better number. Joey's going to put up a poll. How many of you think he's going to raise? How many of you think he's going to pause? All right. So Joey's going to put a poll up. That way I can get a better view of the number. I can see the 1s and the 2s coming in. But as I can look at a poll,
Will the Fed what?
Will the Fed raise raise interest rates on its next decision? Yes or no? And yes, Drew, I'm with you. It will be data decided. And with the weaker economy as far as GDP, this could, and it does say, supports a Fed pause. Let's go to the next one. U.S. stocks are rising and investors hope for a pause on rate hikes. So you watch the news is saying that, putting it out there for the Fed to turn around and say, we're going to pause on the next one. It depends on the labor. And the labor market is starting to tighten. Last week's number, the labor market is starting to tighten a little bit. I did a story on Monday where companies are pulling back on wage increases, that companies are pulling back on the amount of money that they're offering to new people coming aboard as well. So based upon that, we'll see. Jim says, nice hat. Thank you. Powell said something to the effect of bringing housing back to pre-pandemic levels. Did he say he was going to crash the RE market? The real estate market has been on my mind for a minute. I still like DRV. To play to the downside for real estate. I've been talking about that for a while as well. So a lot of people, by way of the poll, there we go. Will the Fed raise rates on the next decision? So far, 63% of you say yes. Only 46 people voted. I'd like to. We got 174 people in the room. Hit the poll. I really want to get a feel. I think that he raises. He made mention that the economy right now is still in a space where it's strong enough to hold out with another raise. In Jackson Hole, he pretty much said that he's pretty much still going to raise interest rates. All right, so we'll keep our eyes on that. But I wanted your input. I want more of you people to give me some of your input on what you think. Walmart wants pharmacists to take a pay cut and to reduce their hours. I saw that story, Paul. I was going to put that up. I just couldn't get a lot of information behind it except for one story. So I did see that. Walmart wants pharmacists to listen, if I'm a pharmacist, I'm not going to take a pay cut. I'm not going to take a pay cut. I'm in your store to help bring you business. And in the meantime, I'm, filling drug prescriptions. You want me to I don't even work for you, Walmart. So I look at it that way. Is the inflation chasing wages or versus inflation? Wages are chasing inflation. It's the other way around. Wages are chasing inflation. As inflation is high, people have to pay people the money to live be able to live during recessionary, inflationary times. All right, they average $140,000. Well, listen, you go to school to be a pharmacist, then that's why you're making $140,000. I'm not about saying no to that. That's what they make. That's what they're worth. Huh? Huh? What'd you say, Joey? Shy. No, a lot of education. I agree. A lot of education to become. I think it's a lot of education to be. Joey, what are you saying?
Bro, that shit's so far away.
Joey, I can hear you in the background. Sigh, I don't know what Joey's saying in the background. You know something? Walmart checkout is a disaster. Not as much. They got all of the self-checkout in my Walmart, so you could just go through and check out. They close off a lot of the aisles to make it so that you can do the self-checkout. So it hasn't been the way that it has been. All right. So with that being said, again, I got the poll. The poll says 73 people. 60% of you still think that the Fed is going to raise. And I'm with you. I wanted that insight. All right, next story. I'm still bullish on oil. Oil edges up as U.S. crude stockpile draw and hurricane jitters. I want to show you something else. Go back to the economic calendar. Did y'all see this? Crude oil inventories. Look at that. Forecast of negative 3.26 million. Look at this. Negative 10.58. We lost all that. Does that make sense to you? Or does that number seem like it's way out of whack? Does that make sense? One, or does it look like it's way out of whack? Two. All right. That's huge. And that is, in my estimation, a good indicator of oil about to explode. Does that, and don't blame your wife. I'm this. Don't even blame your wife, Joey. I'm talking about, I can hear you. That's crazy. That's a crazy number. That is a crazy. Forecasted negative 3.6 million. It came in at negative 10.58. Is that because we did not refill the reserves? Is that coming to fruition? Is that coming to roost? Oh boy, we are going to be in a world of hurt if any of these hurricanes hit any of the oil rigs in the Gulf. We're going to be in a world of hurt. I am more bullish on oil than I have been in quite some time. All right. And oil is in my list today. Let's go back to see my list. Oil is in my list today. Let's go Glenn's picks. Let's go see what oil is doing today. This USO only up about 0.25%. Look at the RT on it. It's definitely moving. It's got momentum. Let's go look at the graph of it. Let's go look at the graph of oil. Man, that's intraday. That's crazy. Put on a 3-month graph. I like the bounce off support, and that's at 70.66. And this is looking at USO. I like the bounce off support. I don't even have the 3 and the 8 up on here. 3, 8. The 3 is crossed above the 8 as well. I'm bullish on oil, and I think that with the oncoming hurricanes and the lack of oil in our reserves, I think that it bodes to fight a good case that oil is about to expire, is about to just blow up. I don't like it in that way. Refineries are another problem area as well. We're losing out on refineries. You don't have nearly as many refineries as well. Global oil inventories are now 10 million barrels away from record deficit since 2022, which reversed solely due to the largest release. I know. I've never been a fan of the releasing of the oil. Even with that being said, we never effectively went back to replace it even when oil dropped. That's ludicrous. We put all that oil out there, and we know why we did it, is to help to stem off the rising gas prices. All right, fine. But you made mention that the administration said when oil gets down to X amount of price, we will replenish it, and they really didn't. That's crazy. All of this makes me super bullish on oil. super, not just bullish, but super bullish on oil. All right, let's go to my more news. How about this? Demand for workers cool, but remains elevated. So this is the statement that I made in regards to today's title. The economy is cooling, but is it? All right, so the demand for workers cools off, but remains elevated. It means people are still looking for employees. Still, there's more jobs out there than people looking. So people, and if these jobs get filled, these people will have income to put back into the economy, which will help the economy grow more. With that being said, how does the Fed get inflation to that 2% when the economy is running? The whole idea of the interest rates was to slow down the economy. It did. But is it where it needs to be for the Fed to start taking a victory lap about what he's done? No, there's still more work to be done. This is interesting for the crypto people. Grayscale's victory on Bitcoin ETF case impacts Bitcoin price. There's been a fight. I think it was for ARK. I think it was more so from ARK trying to get an ETF to track crypto. There's not one out there. There's a lot of ETFs to track crypto stuff. But specifically for crypto that's SEC approved is not there yet. The SEC behaved capriciously with Bitcoin ETF rejection, but they got the case overturned to push closer to getting an ETF for Bitcoin, which I think is going to be huge because nobody wants to spend $26,000 for one Bitcoin. Hold on, let me go find out what Bitcoin is right now. Scroll down. Let's go see where Bitcoin sits right now. Bitcoin is sitting at $27,158. There's not a lot of people out there who can buy one Bitcoin. But if you can trade an ETF, and that's big for a lot of people who still want to get in on the space, this could be a driver for Bitcoin to start to rise if they can get into an ETF for it. So big case for that. I wonder what I put into. Did I put coin in here? Coin would have been the only thing that I could have put in here. I'll go put on coin, see if the news was enough to move coin. Where's coin? It wasn't enough to move coin. That's Coinbase. I don't have a real crypto. VectorVest doesn't track crypto or doesn't track futures. All right, but that's the closest that I can get outside of a miner. Outside of a miner. Adalia is now a category 1 moving into Georgia. I just saw that news too. Florida got hit by a lot of rain and now Georgia's getting it. I don't think that we get it. I think our coastal states, our coastal cities get it. Like Myrtle Beach and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think here in the Charlotte area, I think we might get some rain. Michael says big news on crypto yesterday. There was a lot of news. On crypto yesterday. It is what it is. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. Doesn't an ETF hurt a coin? No, Ripman. I think that an ETF gives a lot more people access to something that's super expensive. The Outer Banks will get hit too, Richard. So that's the way I look at it. I think an ETF on crypto affords a lot of people who were very against getting into something that expensive, gives them access to crypto. Any possible pick for the airline stocks in the near future, Krishna? Nope, I'm not touching them. If I can remember, let's go look at them. I'm not touching the airlines right now. All right, so big news for crypto. We'll see if they can get closer and closer to getting an ETF. Again, I think that that's going to be a big push, a big shot in the arm to the upside for crypto if that goes through. We've had BC and ETHs in Canada since September. Right, but do they, you've had Bitcoin itself, Tom, itself as an ETF? I don't think, now, we're talking in the U.S. I think it needs to be SEC approved in order to be an actual ETF for Bitcoin. Joey said, Rush, it's too far away. I don't know what Joey was saying. Yes, but why would people use Coinbase if you can buy into an ETF at other exchanges. And you can. There's other ETFs. I've got a whole bunch of ETFs for the crypto space, but the only real one that I have to track anywhere close, air quotes, to crypto is coin. Man, that's the reason why. That's the reason why. I've been positioned in a lot of put options lately. Now, interesting, as the market is moving up, it's interesting how some contras are still moving. I want to talk about that real quick. Let's go see. The market's been moving up for the past few days, right? Let's go to ETFs. Let's go find 3-time leverage contra. And I want to look just over this week. Look at that. I want to sort this by average volume. And I just want to take a look. With the market moving up, and a lot of people saying, yeah, it's time to go. I'm saying that the market's giving you an opportunity to buy, right? Let's go to the beginning of this week. All right, the market started taking off. I want to see how cryptos have been doing over the last few days, to include today. All right, let's quick test the top 10. This will give me more insight as to if the market's really rocking and rolling or not. And it's down 5.49%. That aids me in my ability to really understand that. And I own SQQQ. All right. If it aids you in the ability to know if the market's really running or not. This is a little, I don't know how many of you have ever done this. This is just a little quick test to give you an understanding is if the market is really showing signs of moving or is it just sputtering along. Right now, every contra, and this is triple leverage, every contra lost me money over the last 3 days. Let's go to the non-leverage contras. Let's go take a look at them. All right, let's go take a look at them. Do the same thing, average volume. Does everybody see the usefulness behind doing this? Yes or no? Does everybody see the usefulness behind doing this to really accentuate what's going on in the market? Yes or no? So these are the non-leverage contras. Let's quick test the top 10. One made money, but the rest did not. And these are not down nearly as much as the triple leverage. So Paul says no. So Paul, when the market's going up, contras should lose money. But if I see the market going up and contras making money, I know that caution needs to be used. Paul, does that make sense? But if the market is going up and my contras are going down as well they should be, that gives more affirmation to the move to the upside in the market. All this is just a backup to make sure that I'm on the right track. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. And a lot of times, this little test helps to give some insight on how strong or weak the up move is. Does everybody understand that? I think that's a better way of saying it. It's a way, oh crap, it's a way, this is live. It's a way of checking the validity of the upward move. All right, it's a way of checking the validity of the upward move. All right, that's the way I want to look at it. That's a little tidbit. That's a little tip or trick. All right, let's go back to the stories. VinFast. How many of you took advantage of VinFast? It's a Vietnamese EV company that was valued really, really high coming out of the gate. How many of you took advantage of VinFast? So are you closing your positions on contras? I still have a stop on my SQQQ. Still hasn't hit it yet, so if it does, I'm out. If it does, I'm out. Glenn, safe to buy Midas Touch. Midas Touch is a good way to go. I've got the special presentation for this week. I'm gonna open up a gem of a search that many of you have forgotten about, and just to show you how powerful it is. Make sure you tune in to the Friday video that we give out from VectorVest. Not the Friday video that I do every Friday. That's going to be a different video. But the special presentation that we give out on Fridays, I have it this week, and I'm going to put you on to a gem of a search that many people have either forgotten about or have never used. That's killing it. That's killing it. LC says, I'm new. When a stock is way higher than its value, and a lot of them seem to be, shouldn't we stay away from those? Example, Nvidia. So LC, I'm going to put that question up. I think that's a great question. But I'm going to tell you that the market, for the most part, is overvalued because people are not putting money in the banks. Money goes where money grows. The interest rates are not there for people to put money in the banks. So where are they putting it? Into the market. And more people are doing that, driving stocks prices higher. And that's the reason why many of the stocks in the market are overvalued. Now, with that being said, I've done a special presentation a long time ago called Glamour Stocks. And there's a way that you can get into these overvalued stocks in a good way using the indicator RV. All right. Joey can't find that video because it was a special presentation. Else I would tell him to put it up there. That's
which one is it?
No, you can't find it. It's in the system. And I don't know how long ago I did the search Glamour, did the special presentation Glamour Stocks. I don't even think we were posting on YouTube when we did that special presentation. All right, so yeah, so that's my opinion. If you're not comfortable with an overvalued stock, stay away from it. LC, that's the way I'm going to. If you're not comfortable buying into overvalued stocks, stay away from it. Can I do a search and find me the best undervalued stocks? Absolutely, and I can say you stick with those. Within the VectorVest system, I can go through the over 9,000 stocks that we have and specifically hone in on the undervalued stocks. So, Glenn, I'm new to the program. What days are you on? I'm on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays as a live stream. All right, but then I have the videos of the night for Mondays, Tuesdays, and Friday. Man, I'm on every day, pretty much, whether it's a video or a live stream. I'm on our YouTube channel every day. All right. Now, someone says the 3 and the 8. What was your question? I think a lot of questions can be answered with, has the 3 and the 8 crossed? And Jim, we did talk about that when we first came on. Looking at the market timing graph, this is why I can't tell you not to take advantage of the market. The 3 and the 8 cross right here. 3 and the 8 cross on the market on 828. Confirmation break, not only confirmation, but breaking through a level of resistance. And today, more confirmation. So the 3 and the 8 has crossed. The 3 and the 8 has crossed. All right, Akshay, I got you. All right, I got you. So that's where we stand. I told you that I still think that the market has more downside. That's my feeling going into the future. As of right now, the point at hand, I'm not going to tell you not to buy stocks. The system is saying it's okay to buy stocks. There we go. All right. What's the difference between top VST and the Midas Touch stocks? It's totally different things. Top VST stocks are looking at the stocks that have the highest combination of value, safety, and timing. And the Midas Touch is a cherry picking tool to find stocks that meet the parameters of moving averages on the stop price and moving averages on RT. Two totally different things. Midas Touch is a cherry picking thing. Top VST stocks look at the stocks out of the over 9,000 stocks that we have that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing. Does 2 or 9 refer to a straight? No, it's 3 and the 8. I'm not using a 2 and a 9. I'm using a 3 and the 8, and it is looking at an exponential moving average. Exponential moving average. All right, so VinFast, meme stock frenzy, unattainable. And next story behind it, look at this. VinFast stock plunges, wiping out $90 billion in market cap. That happened yesterday. So what did I say when we looked at VinFast? And does anybody remember what I said about VinFast? Does anybody remember what I said about VinFast? I'm just curious to know. I want to see how many of you pay attention when I talk. How many of you remember what I said about VinFast? Before I say it, I want to see if somebody else could corroborate what I said. All right, what did I say, Jake? All right, let's go pull up the graph. First thing I stated. Michael is right on it. What goes up must come down. The biggest thing about what I saw was the short amount of data that we had. All right. And we know what happens. We know what happens when a stock comes to market. The hype is there. And Michael's right on it. I did state that. What goes up must come down. Remember, there's not a whole lot of earnings stuff behind it yet. It's brandy new. The hype was big and people ran with it. Last 2 days, though, don't look so good. Number one. Number two, look at the 3 and the 8. End of day, the 3 is still above the 8, though. The 3 is still above the 8. All right. That was a good move if you got in early. But now it's pulling back. And I'm glad Michael remembered what I said, because that was right on point. I said that I wouldn't get into it. I wouldn't get into it because it had moved up so nicely, so quickly. And what goes up must come down. So I like to search for stocks in which the value is greater than the stop price, to catch the ones that are fairly valued. Nothing wrong with that. And the beautiful thing is the flexibility behind the VectorVest system is only limited to your imagination. Late to the party, yeah. Early bird gets the worm. Late to the party, I'm not thinking about touching. I need this stock to settle in somewhere before I think about buying it. And keep in mind that the EV space is very crowded, very crowded. They came out fast. They hit it hard. And I think that people are going to realize there's no real earnings behind it yet. So this was all frenzy and now reality. Frenzy and reality. All right. Since bond yields move inverse to interest rates, and I think we are reaching interest rate peak, is it time for conservative investors to start looking at some bond funds? Are there any bond funds, bond ETFs? I believe we do have bond ETFs. Before I start to spend the time to look at them, I believe they are there. If you catch me, what's today, Wednesday? Catch me tomorrow, Michael. I'm going to look into bond funds, and if I can find them, I will talk to you about them on tomorrow's live stream. How about that? I believe they are. But before I start spending the time to look, I'd rather know exactly if we do have them and where they are. We are climbing 4 days already. Typically, day 5 is a pause. Small pullback expected tomorrow. The last time I tried to guess what the market did, and it didn't happen, I got beat up on social media. You know something? There's haters. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's haters that look for every little thing that I can do wrong, and they expound on it. But when I do something right, I don't hear a peep out of them. Not a freaking peep. And then people say, well, Glenn, you take this too seriously. Then don't come after me. I'm very passionate about what I do. And I try to put into the best regards what I can do for you for the opportunity to make money. But if you're going to hit me on every stumble, I don't want to hear it. How about that? I'm not going to stop you from having the opportunity to say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. But when people tell me not to take it seriously, I'm too passionate about being able to help you guys make money. And if you're going to catch me on every stumble, then don't say, I don't care about it. I don't care about it. I don't. Evidently, I do, because I talk about it. But I want people to know that I do got haters out there. Thing is that I'm going to continue to do what I do regardless. It's like I own that whole Euro thing. All right, just like I own that whole. And for everybody who's like, oh man, I can't believe you. I forgot. Get over it. I apologize. Get the frick over it. Okay, I'm done with that. VinFast. Again, be careful with it. I wouldn't have been in it. I think it's coming to fruition. It is what it is. If you own it, be careful. You got to stop the bleeding. You got to stop the bleeding. All right, stop the bleeding. All right. Oscar says, I still don't know what happened. It's all right. Look at Tom Brady and how successful. I don't like Tom Brady. I'm not a Tom Brady. I don't hate him, but I'm not a big Tom Brady fan. Well, I'm a Tom Brady fan because the 2 Super Bowls that he lost to the Giants. So I do like him for that. I thought you said Slim Fast. I didn't say Slim Fast. All right. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Glenn, the good Lord could not please us all. Amen to that, Peter. Amen to that. All right. So let's keep it moving. And I know that I'm going to get some blowback on socials about my statement today. Keep typing. I'm going to keep watching. That's all I got to say about I think it's funny. I really think it's funny that people can spend the time out of their day. My time is, I ain't got all that kind of time. That you can spend the time out of your day to come after me just because. Does that mean that I become a real influencer? I'm curious. Really? I don't think so. Not yet. All right, AMC, another meme stock like GME. AMC, ape conversion sent AMC stock down 65% in a week. Woo! That's big. Not a fan of meme stocks, but guess what? There's a movie coming out. Mimi talked about it, who's on our team, said that there's a movie coming out about GME called Dumb Money. I think that as a team, we're gonna go watch it, and I think that we're gonna have, at least I'm gonna have some semblance of a report on the movie on how real it is. All right, we'll see. Tom Brady is so loved up here, Boston Glenn. I know he is. I know he is. I know he is. Wait, we're not allowed to forget anything? Jim, evidently I am not. Evidently I am not. So, oh well, we're not. But I guess because it was so big that it was the euro that I couldn't get out of my mouth, that it was big. I couldn't. Okay, I missed it, and I apologize. All right, let's go look at AMC. I'm not a fan of AMC. It's moving up today. Look at that, 13.52%. Big move after being down 65% in 1 week. Again, it's the fight against demand. It's a fight against the establishment about the people who are trying to put companies out of business because they're not good. That's gone on for years. It's gone on for years. A lot of companies got put out of business because they weren't seen to be viable companies. It's the market. It's what we do. All right? It's what we do. Please do what? What am I doing? What to do what? What am I going to do? Time, money, dark side of the moon. Isn't that a song? Isn't that a song? So AMC, big move up today. Let's go look at the stock graph. Put it on a 3-month graph. Wow, look at that. And the split. That's right. They diluted the stock. They did. People getting tired of it. I didn't even think, well, maybe more people are jumping on board. But the earnings is there. There's the earnings, but are they positive? Where's the earnings? Earnings. Yep. No, it's negative earnings. They're still losing money, but they're losing less of it. And I sit back and look at the retail investors. Do you guys have the wherewithal to look at this? That's 1 year. That's 5 years. Do you guys really have the wherewithal where the stock went up as high as what? It's almost $700. Remember that when that happened? $726. Those lucky folks that were in and made, that was life-changing money right there. That was life-changing money, and a lot of people made it, but more people missed out on it. And because of that move is why we got all the diamond hands that we got right now. But from $726 down to currently $1,241, there's a lot of people holding from those way up points, saying, I'm not getting out of it. Well, yeah, that's all I can say. Should we use trailing stops? Depends on you as an individual investor, Debbie. I am a fan of using the VectorVest profit locker to help me to make money or get out of stocks. Now, as a trailing stop, I do like the idea of the trailing stop. There's one of probably outside of the profit locker, a stop that I would use because it trails from the highest point the stock is given. So it gives you room to the upside and starts cutting you off quick once it falls from the high since you owned it. So it's one of my favorite stops outside of the profit locker, Debbie. All right. Whereas if I'm using a percentage gain loss, that means I'm only getting out at 1 or 2 points, at a gain or at a loss, but nothing in the middle. Whereas a trailing stop allows me to lock in profits. And the profit locker and the trailing stop almost work hand in hand. What it means is they never cut their losses and want to blame someone else. You are it. Left off. Listen, I'm not a fan of did I take advantage of AMC and GME way back in the day when this hype was going on? I did. Don't get me wrong, I did, but with a super small portion of my money. All right, I didn't bet the bank, and there's a lot of people out there who bet the bank on these stocks, and they're hurting. I was smart enough. How about this? I was well informed enough, not to say smarter or dumber. I was well informed enough to know that is a meme stock frenzy, that investing a small portion of my portfolio was the right way to go. There we go. Glenn, anytime in the foreseeable future that VectorVest would be able to analyze Bitcoin? No alpha omega, because we don't track currency. We don't, you notice, we don't track currency in the software or futures. Because of that choice, the answer to your question is no. That's why I go out to another site to be able to track crypto. And then I can track the crypto. I can get news. I can, it's sort of like being able to do crypto without being able to use it for VectorVest. So that's what I use. I use CoinMarketCap, and I can look at a graph. I can pull up Bitcoin. I can look at a graph on Bitcoin. Wow, look at that. That's 1 day, 7 day. Look at the nice jump and look at the pullback. I can get the news about it. This is one of my favorite sites for Bitcoin news. All right, Akshaya, I got you. Remember, Akshaya, please don't double, triple put it. I wrote it down and I told you that I got you. All right, I got you. All right, so I can look at what's going on. I do like the site outside of VectorVest from the standpoint of looking at crypto. All right, that's the closest that I can get. All right, let's get back into the news. That's what I want. Next news story, AMC, Nvidia. Interesting on Nvidia. Nvidia is the AI king right now, but threats to its reign abound. And there's several stocks in the list that are going after Nvidia. Nvidia, SMCI in the chip space, I do like a lot. Nvidia I've liked more because of the price action. SMCI I like from the analysis part of it. Glenn didn't click the button for any of the complainers. Glenn didn't click the buy button for any of the complainers. Listen, something, even though they complain, I still give them time on the air. I give them time to talk about that they are haters. All right. Traders must be accountable for their decisions. And I think that that's inherently known by everybody, inherently. So let me go to my list. Nvidia's in that list. Google's in the list. Microsoft, AMD, Intel. Those are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies. The story is on Nvidia, but companies coming after it. Google, tech stock up today. Microsoft, tech stock up today. AMD, tech stock up today. Intel, tech stock up today. As I look at them, the question comes back about all of the stocks being overvalued. Overvalued. It adds more to the equation of people are putting more money into the stock market rather than the banks, and they're putting it into companies that they know. That adds also to the fact that stocks are overvalued. All right, can we analyze the E-graphs? What is an E-graph? What is an E-graph? TSM supplies the chips. Again, TSM and ASML work together. I got you as far as TSM. I got you. I forgot what I just said. Oh, sorry, the graphs. Yeah, we'll look at all of the graphs. I was getting ready to. That's why they're all highlighted. Let's go look at the graphs. Nvidia, put them on a 3-month graph. Nvidia still trading higher, very close to the 3-month high. Very close to the 3-month high. 3/8 cross. Love the earnings. I got fibs on these. I do have fibs. They're at the overbought level too on fibs. Let's go look at Google. Overvalued. Love the earnings. Right there, 1 day off of the 3-month high. Open candle. Very little wick at the top. Still trading higher. Microsoft, on the other hand, look at the sales. Look at the earnings. What's the earnings growth rate at 10%? Microsoft has been around a long time, but as I look at this space, it's one of the weaker stocks in the AI space. Love the earnings. Again, a longevity of a company has been around. I will keep my eye on that. What's that, Marvin? I got you. All right. I think that there's better stocks in this space. I think there's better stocks in this space. AMD, look at that, trending lower. Interesting. Look at that. Over the last 3 months, trending lower. Love the earnings per share, but stocks that are doing better than it. All right. Nvidia. Intel, sort of like Microsoft, a stock that's been around a long time, but weaker in this space. But these are stocks that are coming on to get a little heavier in the AI space. All right. What's Tingo? Is it TNGO? What is Tingo? What's the ticker symbol? I'll find it. Dumb question. How do I get all the unit searches you use in my VectorVest desktop app? The answer to that is actually you don't. Remember, your app is an application. It is a smaller version of the actual system. If you want all of those unit searches, then you have to subscribe to the desktop. If you're okay with not dealing with all of those searches, then the app will be insuffice for exactly what you want. There it is, T.O. That's what I thought. Thank you, T.O. I wrote that down. State why you are bullish on Baidu. I didn't. I'm going to look at Baidu. And I know, Dave, you're asking Akshaya. She said that there was big news behind it. You know me. I'm not all about that. And I don't know what the news is. And Akshaya was asking, do I go all in on it? If I look at the graph and the graph tells me no, then that's gonna be my answer. All right, I got to get through the rest of these news stories. I'm almost done though. All right, real quick. I'm not going to pull up the graphs on these just quite yet. I did a story yesterday on Medicare versus Big Pharma. According to the views, you guys really weren't all into it. You weren't that into it, and that's fine. I think a lot of it had to do with that picture, Joey, that I said no. All right, yeah, that's why I'm calling Joey out. I think it had a lot to do with that, but that's all right.
I didn't tell you to do that.
Huh?
I didn't tell you to do that.
I didn't want to do it. You and Clay wanted to. I didn't want to do that.
No, it was.
That was what?
Do you think the thumbnail was what held you back?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it was the content.
Okay.
I looked at the time that they looked at it compared to the thumb. They looked at it more than they liked the thumb. So I that's what I say it from that perspective. Akshaya says they got AI approval. So that's news. Is that enough to push the stock to extreme highs? Don't know yet. All right, tech support hasn't been able to answer. Do you remember when you could set a trading password? A trading password in VectorVest still possible? I don't remember having a trading password. Remember, we're not a trading system. Something tells me that was through your broker, Mike. It seems like that was through your broker. Michael says Microsoft's integration of AI in Office is going to be very big over the next year. So could we be seeing a beginning move on Microsoft, Michael? Possibly, but if I look at this stock right now, it's still weaker in the space. Let it show me something. Let it show me something. Dave says, Glenn, I joined the live chat to give you a like and learn one new thing. Dave, did you learn one new thing today? Oh, what was the one new thing I taught you today? Using the contra ETFs as a way to back up the move of the market. Excuse me. That was my one new thing for you today, Dave. That was my one new thing for you. I like that. Try to strive to provide you guys with one new thing every day. Let's go to the next one before I go back to the list. Apple. Stock pops on the same day as it earns an A rating. I did pick up, because the Apple's September event is coming up, I did pick up AAPB in my portfolio. That is the 1.5 time ETF. Instead of buying out the Apple outright, I bought the Granite ETF, AAPB. I did buy some of that today. Everybody knows that normally Apple does pop before the event. We'll see. So I did pick that up. Microsoft will be hurt by job cuts. A lot of tech companies, by the way, Stephen, as we look at that, a lot of companies, if you follow me on Twitter, I do put out on Twitter a lot of the times when companies lay off, because the layoffs are still there. You know, people forget about them. All right, but that's the way that these companies are going to be able to make sure that the bottom line stays in the black while all these interest rates are still going higher. People don't understand as well. A lot of you don't understand that the rising interest rates affects a company's ability to do business, because it makes it tough for them to borrow money, which is part of what they do for business. So That's why the layoffs happen. All right. Did I clear that? I did. Disney. Disney struggles as stocks fall to a 9-year low and park attendance slows. Wall Street asks, why not make a clean break? A lot of this that's going on with Disney is dealing with Disney and Governor DeSantis and the back and forth. I hate that this became a political issue. I got my take on that, but I don't think that this is the platform for me to voice my take on that. All I say is that Disney had a sweetheart deal where they were their own autonomous deal. They worked outside of the state of Florida. They were their own state within a state. And now that's going to go away. So that profit locker is something that's within the VectorVest system. Actually, Debbie, you can give our product support staff a call in regards to that. I don't want to, for the lack of trying to sound like I'm a jerk, I don't want to spend the time to go through it here. And Brandon is right. Disney's prices are wildly expensive, but that goes with inflation. All right, that goes with inflation. You reap what you sow. And Dave, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I can't. I won't go down that rabbit hole. But they had a sweetheart deal, and they blew it. So Disney is hurting. I think bringing Iger back was a way to help to mend that, but it doesn't look like that's happening. Yeah, Dave, I don't want to get an amen because then that's pushing me in one political direction. So I don't want to do it. I don't want to get an amen. I don't want to get an amen. Again, you know me, I don't like to do politics. I don't like to do politics. Sonny is right. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the like button. I see it, Joey. I know. Hit the like button if you that number. This number is wrong then, right?
No, it's for you. No.
Okay. What I was getting ready to say, yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already. They haven't kissed and made up. They need to. I think Disney needs to. They need to for their own sake. All right, for their own sake. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for that, Jeff. I appreciate it. All right. Another one, Academy Sports. Will you tell Pelly to stop barking, Joey? Sigh.
I tell her all the time.
Oh,
why?
Oh my gosh.
She listens like you do.
Whatever. I like Academy Sports over Dick Sports. I think they're brighter and more area. I don't know. That's what I think. But I like that they teamed up with Fanatics to expand the selection of licensed sports products. That way, people don't have to go out on the internet and find all these. Remember that time, Joey, where we had somebody out here who had to hook up to China, and we were getting all those jerseys? You remember that time? I got me my Lawrence Taylor jersey.
Yeah, who was that?
I wonder if it was.
Was it the FedEx guy or something? It was the FedEx.
It was the FedEx guy.
Yeah.
It was the FedEx guy, and we were buying jerseys left and right. But I don't think that the prices are going to be. I mean, the prices are going to still be like above $100 for the licensed sports products. Thank you, Edward. Edward says great discussions today. I appreciate that. All right, so I like that. And I want to give you the same caution I gave you last week. Don't base viewer interest on the likes or even the views this week. Labor Day is Monday. Everyone will be back next week. We still like you. I appreciate that. You need to tell Joey, though, because Joey always beats me down. Joey beats me down. He just says, do better. Do better, I said. That's what Joey does. And I'm like,
I do not do that.
Yeah, he does.
Don't say that. Don't tell them that.
You be like, do better. I'm like, yes, Joey.
They see how you do me. So
be like, yeah, yes, Joey.
They see that. They know.
Let's be better, Joey.
You stop.
That was so bad. All right. That was so bad. All right. So that's all of my stories. Let's go back to my list. Apple, there's my Apple play. I've already bought into AAPB. We'll take a look at both of those. I think we all know that every time a news announcement comes out, look at that beautiful level, bounce off support, 3.8 cross above my 20-day exponential moving average as well. Love the earnings. Volume is good. That's on Apple, and then that's on the ETF. The ETF is moving stronger because it's 1 3/4 of the move of Apple. So I did jump into that. I do have a level of resistance of 2730. Let's go see if we can break through it. What else was on the list? Disney. Yeah, let's go. Did I look at? I didn't look at Disney. Let's go look at Disney. Disney's a tough play. And you know, Disney's been around a long time. It's a household name. It's a household name, but all of this politicizing stuff is just poopy. It's poopy for the brand. It's poopy for the brand, and it's poopy for the people. It's still moving down. And right now it's in a channel within a channel. Below the 20-day, the 3 is negative, the 3 is, and the earnings. You know, they're in a poopy state. But I dare say, did they put themselves into this situation? That's all I'm gonna say. Before y'all go pull me through this rabbit hole, did they not put themselves into this situation? Okay. I think that's all of the stocks that we needed to look at. Now, Glenn's picks from last week. I don't have picks for Ryan this week, so let's go see Glenn's picks from last week. Let's go see which ones I would have been bullish on. Let's go back to the 23rd. Which stocks would I have been bullish on? LNG was a good story. AMAT, I was bullish on Bank D. I don't remember this. I was bullish on oil. I got out of my Tesla, so I wasn't bullish there. I was bullish on BNTX because of COVID. I don't remember the stories on these two. All right, let's quick test these. How did they work out? Look at that. More made money than not. Oil made the most. Applied Material, BioNTX, BioNTech, Synapsis, LNG. I don't remember. I think I was bullish on it. I can't say. Bank D, I was definitely bullish on. It's pulled back. Keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. I swear. Banks report first next quarter. Is that October, November? In October. I'm wondering, coming into the end of the year, if the banks start to report having to take losses. I don't know, but keep your eyes on BNKD. Keep your eyes on BNKD. Disney really blew it. They really had something special, but the magic is gone. Disney Plus is amazing. I look at Disney. I got Disney because Disney is with Marvel. Is that the same? Joey, Disney and Marvel together, yes? Or is that not? Disney and Star Wars, right?
Yes.
But not Marvel? Or yes, Marvel?
Is Marvel coming? I don't think it is now, but it's gonna be.
No, but Marvel is out already. All of the Marvel stuff is. I thought it was on the Disney. I own Disney Channel. I got grandkids, so. Brandon says, the problem is people want to buy poopy. I'm not trying to tell you to buy poopy. All right, so we made a little bit of money, not as much as the market did. Ryan's picks last week. Let's go see what he did. I don't know which ones he was bullish and bearish on. He was bearish on Peloton. I think he was bearish on XPEV as well. And retail. All right. But he's probably bullish on Yang. I think that these are the stocks that he probably would have been bullish on. Let's go quick test those. I gotta go back a week. 23rd. I think, yeah, SMCI, Nvidia, and Yang. I think he was bearish on retail, XPEV, and Peloton. All right, let's go see what he did. Quick test. Ooh, Yang. Ooh. That's the bear. Wow, that took a big hit. SMCI took a hit. Nvidia still is rocking and rolling. Marvel is there on Disney? Yes, thank you. I thought it was. I wasn't sure. But, yeah, I keep Disney more so for the Marvel and for Star Wars. That stuff. So, all right. So, there we go. He's got no picks for this week. So, we'll see him back next week. All right, here we go. Let's go customer picks. Customer picks last week. Let's go see how well you did. Customer picks last week. Ooh, MOD. That's probably a good pick. Let's go to look at your picks from last week. Quick test the top 10. How did y'all do? Y'all barely eked the loss, but Mode was up. Sox L was up, jumping in early. Google, SMCI, Neo, Novavax. Interesting on Novavax with the flu and COVID season popping up. Still keep your eyes on that. Still keep your eyes on that. I just did a video last week in regards to big pharma companies that could double. Novavax was on that list. All right, let's go look at your customer picks for this week. I'll put that USOI. All right, USOI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 stocks. Give me, all I'm looking for now is 3 stocks from you. APO, comma, XEG. I don't have XEG. All right, RXRX, nice pick. Comma, ALSN. All right, I got the rest of them. PARR, comma, ELF, comma, Baidu, comma, TSM, comma, XLE, comma, TIO, comma, USOI. All right, those are my 10 picks for you this week, from you this week. We'll see. You wanted to look at Baidu, up 4.38%, 20% earnings growth. It's got good upside. This is more of an aggressive trade. RV is above 1. RS is below 1. It is in an uptrend. VST is right flat. So you keep telling me about this news. What is the news? What is the news? It's up 4% today. China stock sees a gain amid. No. It gets Chinese. It's a Chinese regulatory okay. Well, it's Chinese company. Does that mean that it's going to tech giant Wednesday today received approval by Chinese authorities to launch its artificial intelligence Ernie bot to the general public starting August 31st? It's coming up tomorrow. A spokesman told Reuters Baidu became the first company to receive such approval after regulatory setbacks. All right, so Akshaya says, does she go all the way in on that? Ooh-wee. Let's view the stock graph. Let's go view the stock graph, put on a 3-month graph. No, I'm not going all in. It is way overvalued. Earnings is up there. Earnings growth is at 20. I like that. Do I go all in? No. This is news driven. Would I take some? Absolutely. It's gone up bigly today on big volume. I got a profit target sitting at the high of 156.98. All right. So I got about $9 that I can make on the stock right now. That's not a bad move, or buy the option. But do I go full bore all into it? No, I never do that for any stock. I do that for no stock at all. Badger says, plus, why are you listening to Joey? You've never listened to him before. Just keep stepping. You and Joey should hit your bingo bar after this webcast to start the holiday weekend early. My bingo bar is on Thursdays. And he has never come to support me for that, for music bingo.
It's in like South Carolina.
It's not in South Carolina, jerk.
Where is it?
No, it's not.
Like
it's in Lowell. It's in Lowell.
That's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. He's never come to support me once. All right? And I'm like, dang, you can't support your boy just once? And he won't. Do I like the move on Baidu, Akshaya? Yes. Do I want to go all in? No. Do I like the news? The first company in China, especially because AI is so hot, the first company in China to go for it, then yes. Only stock in the list is RXRX. I like the stock only because of the AI investment in it. All right, I put you onto it. It's a speculative play. It goes beyond aggressive. This is a speculative play. There's my level of support sitting at about 817. It's trading above it, the 3 and the 8. I need the 3 and 8 and the 20. This could be setting up for a big move, but be careful with it. Earnings per share is falling. I put you onto it, but time it. You need to time it. All right, you need to time it. All right, what other stocks are in the list? We looked at a couple of them already. We looked at Baidu and RXRX. All right, so which companies are cheap? TO is cheap. Good upside. A lot of your stocks that you gave me today had RVs above one and double-digit earnings. I like that on all of them. All right, let's go graph these stocks real quick. Let's graph these stocks real quick. And again, while you're sitting here waiting for me to graph them, if you haven't hit the like button already, do. This is an undervalued stock that's rising. Watch earnings, though. A petroleum company, you know I'm bullish on oil. All right. Here's a petroleum company, but right at a level of resistance, pulled back to 3 and 8 about to cross and about to touch on the 20-day. The 20-day looked beautiful on this. Amir says, did I miss everything? Yes, Amir, you did. You missed everything. All right, next one. Don't worry about it, Amir. It's going to be up on the channel for you to watch from the beginning. TO. Remember when TO was a hot thing and then it don't be hot no more. All right. The 3 and 8 crossed today on big volume. I don't know what the news is on this. The 3 and 8 crossed today on big volume, 62%. Conference call. All right, is this earnings? This must be an earnings call. That's what I think this is. Growing fintech. The presentation will accompany which will be viewed in webcast. It might be. It's a big move. Where's RV? RV is above 1. I do like that. Relative safety is below 1, so it's more of an aggressive play. The allegation report. Oh, is that what it is? Thank you, T. Thank you, T. The stock's price jumped on big volume. Would I take a piece? Maybe. It is undervalued, and it's above my 3, the 8, and the 20. Maybe. Elf. If you look at Elf, you look at Ulta, they look a lot alike. Elf Beauty. Who wants to look like an elf? Who wants to go to a place called Elf Beauty? You come out, you look like an elf. Hello. Was that funny? I think that was a little funny. Anyway, love the earnings per share. Love the Somebody laugh. All right, don't hurt my feelings. Somebody laugh, because I just thought that was kind of funny. All right. Anyway, Joey laughed. Thank you, Joey. After he beats me up. APO financial, right at the level of resistance. I need if the stock is begrudgingly going up in a channel. I'd like to see if it could break above the channel. I do like the earnings, and I do like that it's undervalued. Same thing with ALSM. A lot of sideways move. Auto truck, this must be part of the EV space for some way. Love the earnings per share. I need it, and it did. It broke above, but look, it's testing that level of formal resistance to a level of support. ELF stands for eyes, lip, and face. Is that what it really stands for, Brian? I didn't know that. Is that what it stands for? Well, I learned something new. TSM. Wow. There's more space. There's more stocks in the space that I like. Poll the women in the audience. My wife swears by the quality and prices of their product. I don't know. My wife don't go to ELF or Ulta.
Yeah, I got a tea time in about 10 minutes.
All right, so I'm getting ready to finish. Energy is on the rise. I like to see it take out that level of resistance. There's oil moving up, and that's that. All right. That's all I got. You can put me on the last screen. Joey, I know. I'm sitting at 312. Listen, we had a lot of great conversation today. I answered a lot of questions. I addressed my haters. And all that. I did all of that today. If you haven't already, hit the like button. You know, I like to try to walk away with at least 100 likes before we end. All right. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you'll be alerted when new content like this comes out. And that's it. Until next time, what do I got tomorrow? Tomorrow is Trending Thursday. Trending Thursday at 2 p.m. We'll be right back here live. With that, folks, adios. Arrivederci. Ciao, au revoir, sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii, especially in Maui. And I'm sending out my prayers to the people in Florida and Georgia as well as they go through a Hurricane Idalia. Bom dia. Salam, shalom, namaste. Yasu. Until next time, folks. See you.